we're glad you're here. We appreciate your devoting your time for us to meet. This is a meeting focused on the district chairs, and we're inviting lots of other folks. And hopefully whatever we say tonight will be useful to you and that you will walk away thinking that your time was well spent. As information only, since we met last, we have restructured the regions. You probably will not even notice that unless you go into the portal and look for reports. But that's just information. We have restructured the regions to try to make it a little more useful and a little more efficient in terms of finding information. I mentioned last time we met, we have a recurring donor program, and we want as many folks to become recurring donors as possible. We're up to 44. We'd love to get to 200. I asked the participating folks in the new CART chair orientation last week, how many of them had actually logged into the portal. And so I'm going to ask you the same thing. How many of you have actually logged into the portal? And if the answer is no, I want you to do that. Find some time in the morning or in the afternoon tomorrow and try to log into the portal. If you have problems, Michelle will be delighted to help you walk you through that. If you're a CART chair for a district, it is extremely important that you know how to log in, because we want you to teach your clubs how to do that. And so you can't do that unless you do it yourself. So we really want you to log into the portal, play around with it, find out what the reports look like, ask questions. All of us, Michelle, Tiffany, and myself, will all try to answer your questions about the portal. And the message we really want you to give to your clubs is, if they have a donation for CART, if they would put that donation into the portal as the first choice. And if they have to write a paper check, have them send that check to you and you put it in the portal. But we really want to start using the portal exclusively for our donations. It is a wonderful, efficient tool. It really is a terrific tool, and we want you to use it. So with that, I'm going to shut up and turn this program over to Tiffany, because she's got some information for you that will be important.
All right. Thank you, Rod. So I have some important dates to share with you that I would like for you to make note of. They are all in the DACDB calendar, but just wanted to give you a heads up for those of you who maybe have not looked at it yet. Our upcoming monthly meetings in the calendar, and those are already set for September the 7th, which is a Wednesday evening next time, and also October the 18th, which will go back to a Tuesday evening, I believe. And so please put those dates on your calendar. You can go ahead and register in DACDB if you would like. And the second item that I would like to share with you is something new that we are creating this month. One of the common comments and questions that we get is from our donors that say, what has been done with the money that we donated? What are some of the outcomes that we have heard from our grant researchers and our previous recipients? And so we have been listening, and we've been trying to find a way to gather that information for you. So one of the things that we are implementing is a brand new lunch and learn every month. It will be held from 12 to 1 p.m. and via Zoom. And so the first one will be held on August 31st, and that is going to be with Dr. Carl Harrop, one of our previous recipients and also a member of our scientific review panel. And he is going to be talking about a recent book that he published. He's going to be talking about a lot of the research that he's done and where he thinks Alzheimer's research is moving in the future and what has been accomplished in the past. So we're really excited to have him as our first presenter for our Lunch and Learn on August 31st. The September date is also set, and that will be on September the 14th with Dr. Ben Barr from UNC Pembroke. Many folks will remember him as one of our previous recipients as well. And he was very popular on the district conference speaking circuit when he was a recipient. He had a great way of putting his words into layman's terms so that all of us could understand what he was doing. We have relied on past President Bill Parker for many years to explain to us what our researchers were trying to tell us. And now we're going to give him a little bit of a break and ask our researchers to share that with us every month. So we're really looking forward to every month having a new researcher to join us. This is not just open for CART chairs or for district chairs or even for Rotarians. So you will find the registration for Rotarians in DACDB, but there will be Facebook events that will be created on the CART Facebook page that you can share on your personal pages. And there will be a registration link available for non-Rotarians who do not use DACDB, so they can also register and get the link as well. So those are the lunch and learns that are coming up for August and September, and the district chair meeting for September and October. You will find the agendas for those meetings also in each of the DACDB calendar events. We did host, as Rod mentioned, a brief 1-hour orientation session last month for new district chairs, but any district chair and district governor line were invited to attend. That video, as of today, is now up on our YouTube channel as well. So if you missed that, you can go back and watch that meeting or any of our meetings, including this one, on our YouTube channel. This one will be edited and uploaded tomorrow, and we will continue to do that every time. The executive committee meetings, many of you had asked about those, and Rod let you know that they're not very exciting, but they are also listed on the DACDB calendar if you would like to know when they are. But again, we're recording those and we will upload those to YouTube as well. So if there's anything that you specifically want to learn more about, those recordings will be there as well. So our agenda tonight, our first speaker tonight is a past executive director of CART and past district governor, Bill Shillito. He serves as our representative on ADRAG, and we thought it might be helpful for you guys to find out what is ADRAG, because it is a great piece of information that all of you should be well versed in, myself included, and we thought this would be a great way to hear directly from our representative.
So in about 2013, 14, the CART Executive Committee meeting was meeting in Charlotte, North Carolina for our summer session. That's about the time that Rotary International was interested in exploring a Rotary action group for Alzheimer's and dementia. Our executive committee was precedent enough to say, Bill, as our representative, our executive director, you need to know everything about the Alzheimer's Dementia Rotary Action Group, need to be a part of it, and you need to be available and make sure this thing goes. One of the board members was even pushed hard enough, said, you need to be the chairman of that. And I rested all that, put it all away. So this is my briefing tonight to you to answer the question, what's Rotary International, your Rotary International, doing about this Alzheimer's disease? And the answer is this Rotary Action Group. Rotary Action Groups are independent international Rotary affiliated groups whose members have expertise and experience in particular areas of specialization. It focuses on humanitarian impact, knowledge and passions, and independent entities in accordance with RI policies. So they monitor us if we're becoming a Rotary Action Group, and we're one of 27 Rotary Action Groups at this point. So we're one of those, and they know everything about us. As soon as we became a Rotary Action Group, we'd been a Rotary Action Group for about 2 weeks, and I got a call from Rotary International, Zuhal Sharp, and said, your website's down. And I said, yes, ma'am, I'll get on it right away. So I knew that they were watching us and watching us closely. So that's our official logo that you see there. Rotary International actually did that logo for us. And it was quite an exercise. We attempted several times to do a logo, and they rejected our first 2 efforts. So we said, how about you taking a stab at it and let us look at it? And this is what they presented, and we were happy with that. So how we fulfill our missions, and we're going to do that through our 5 wonderful resource partners, which I'm going to highlight for you here. So Coins for Alzheimer's Research Trust is a founding member of the Rotary Action Group Alzheimer's Dementia. So anybody wants to know what our affiliation is, we're a separate 501c3, just like the Alzheimer's Dementia Rotary Action Group is a separate 501c3. The ADRAG's difference is that we are officially monitored. through Rotary International. And so they vet everything we do, say, and represent. Coins for Alzheimer's Research Trust is a founding member of this Rotary Action Group. We help write the bylaws, we help write the 501c3, and we got a great deal of help. Next one, Tiffany. The Cure Alzheimer's Fund is a fund that's very similar to CART in these ways. They promise that 100% of every donation that goes to the Cure Alzheimer's Fund will go to research. Now, the way they're able to do that is they have a full-time staff, $1.6 million annual budget to fund their staff. And so that staff is going after philanthropic groups, large grants, those kind of things to attract funds to their organization. That group is paid for, that cost of those are paid for by 3 philanthropic families that started CART or started the Cure Alzheimer's Fund at about 2003 when they started. They've raised over $60 million for research, and it all goes to research. They have a different approach. They don't ask for grant requests. They have a research scientist on their staff that looks at research all around the universe and calls those folks and say, we like what you're doing. Would you be willing to look at this type of research for us? And that's how they grant their money. They do grants in the same range that we do, in the 200,000, 250, 300,000. Rarely do they go above 300,000. So I thought that was unique, even with their amount of resources and what they do. We're compatible in that the way we approach our grant or our fund requests are much different from their grant requests. They're going after large family trusts and those things to donate millions of dollars at a time. The next group that's part of our research partners is Rotarians Easing Problems of Dementia, better known as REPOD. Started in England. So in REPOD, as a resource member, was an original member as well. So they were original members of the founding members of ADRAG. They think of memory cafes, literature research, and research they do is based in England, but they're primarily famous for the memory cafes and getting those started and helping communities be better prepared for this onslaught of Alzheimer's disease in the community, especially when the victim or the person who is suffering this doesn't have immediate family around them. How's the community going to marshal around them? Next slide. Music Mends Minds. If you've ever met Carol Rosenstein or Amy Huggins, these folks are on fire. They've been highlighted in the Rotary International magazine. So they're a group that's on fire. They started out with one group called the Fifth Dementia. They didn't get sued by the Fifth Dimension, and so actually got sponsored by the Fifth Dimension. And they've grown since then to about 30 music groups all over the world. They were listed on the CBS series for recognition for what they're doing in this area of music, helping Alzheimer's patients and caregivers throughout the day. We have known for a long time, and you remember in our made-for-TV movie, Remembering No More, where Carol talks about her mom responding to music in a much better way. You may even recall about 10 years ago, we had a memory singing group come to our executive committee meeting, and people who could not communicate any other way stood up and sang. So that we've known, and inside CART, we've known that music makes a huge impact on the caregivers and the patients who are suffering through Alzheimer's. It gives them a way to connect with their families. So that's Music Men's Mind. They do a great job. Alzheimer's Association joined us most recently. They're the most recent addition to our 5 resource partners. In that Rotary National called me and said, hey, we've got this Alzheimer's Association. They want to be in touch with it. They want to help out. So we've certainly embraced them. They do some incredible things, which I'll talk about in just a little bit. One of the things I think unique about the Alzheimer's Association is this 24/7 hotline. There's somebody standing by to take a call from somebody who's trying to understand this disease for the first time, trying to determine how they're going to take care of their loved one. And so that 24/7 hotline is a remarkable resource for Rotarians to be able to refer their family, their friends, and fellow Rotarians who may be suffering for this first time. Next one, Tiffany. We're working on a 6th group called the Dementia Friendly America. It's a pilot program out of Milwaukee, and I'll talk a little bit more about that, but we may have a 6th resource partner. The Alzheimer's Association, next slide, I've talked a little bit about. So care and comfort and support is a big part of what they do. Research is a big part of what they do. They are the largest research funding institution outside of the National Institutes of Health. As far as a non-governmental agency, they're the largest funding agency. Their model, though, only allows about 4% of their money donated to them to go to research. Unlike CART, who promises 100% of everything that's donated, these folks' budget works out to about 4% goes to research, but they still have a huge impact given the amount of money they raise. They also do wonderful well with advocacy to the government institutions. Their charter allows them to advocate government organizations without violating their 501c3 status. Next one, Tiffany. This one I wanted to highlight for you. There are over 350,000 people in these clinical trials now. There are over 500 locations where these trials are going on. I will be a part of a research program sooner, if not later, because I think it's important. The other thing that our researchers tell us, besides giving funds, if we can encourage people to donate their brains, and not only their brain after you die, Diane's probably thinking I've already donated mine, but after we pass away, it would be really good if we can donate to one of these research organizations or to the Alzheimer's Association, who will direct it to the right location. And particularly if it's a qualified brain, a certified brain that's been tested, and you know where you are, you've had some kind of test, and at least the verbal test to classify your brain, whether you're mildly impaired or stage 4 or stage 8. So trials are important, and donating brain material is another way that we can encourage people to participate. The Cure Alzheimer's Fund is a nonprofit organization dedicated to funding. That's their website at the bottom. I've talked about the Cure Alzheimer's Fund, great organization. Tim Armour is the executive director there. He knows CART well. He's participated in our events, and he's just a great resource. And Cure Alzheimer's is a great resource for us. About $60 million currently in grant funding. Next one, REPOD, our resource partner that we are getting our work done through. That's their website as well. One of their past organizers, Debbie Hodges, is the RIBI past president, Rotary in Ireland and Britain International, separate, an organization under Rotary International. So that's REPOD, and all connected through that group. Next one, Tiffany. Music Men Minds. What I would say about this group is that they're having a huge impact as far as awareness, and they're great communicators across the board, and have caused great visibility for this Alzheimer's disease. Next one. CART, you know that well. I don't have to explain that to you, but we're a founding member. I want to pound that point home. We're a founding member of this Rotary Action Group. We helped get it started. We're staying involved in it. Your past executive director is the chairman of that organization. I'll be the chairman for the next 2 years, unless they kick me out or find somebody better to do the job. Next one, Tiffany. Dementia Friendly Communities. It's a unique organization that came to our attention. A Rotary member of ADRAG introduced me to them. We've got a pilot program working with them to see if the Rotary groups and the Rotary clubs there in the Milwaukee area will embrace that dementia-friendly communities. A lot like REPOD, they worry about communities being able to assist Alzheimer's patients who don't have immediate family around them. So that's what they're doing. I see a great contact or a great connection with what we do and what we're concerned about. and especially for the ADRAG organization. So we're looking to see if they could become our sixth resource partner. Next one, Tiffany. Next slide, please. This Alzheimer's Dementia Rotary Action Group India. So we have a group in India that loves what we're doing. They wanted to establish their own organization there, and this is how they're going about doing that. India still sees Alzheimer's as a stigma. Most families do not want to talk about it. Rotary wants to help bring that out of the shadows so that it can be discussed, and then also start to raise research about it. This group, this ADRAG India group, will be a great resource for helping us move them on to the next one. So this is the briefing for you, and this is the end of Alzheimer's disease. Thank you.
Does anyone have any questions for Bill right now? He's also going to host a breakout session during our breakout shortly. So that'll be a chance for you to get some more in detail information from him. But if you have a question for the good of the organization, we'll open that up for him. For the next.
That presentation would be an excellent one to make to turn into, like you did, the club presentation. Because some clubs have already had basic stuff, and they would certainly be willing to, I think, hear that presentation.
I agree with
certainly be willing to
Bill is available to do that, I think, if you invite him.
Luther, and I've done this presentation, not this exact format, but the 5 resource partners to 3 different Rotary clubs. 2 of them are digital clubs, and so I reached quite a few folks around the world. But I agree, it would be an excellent presentation for people who want to know, how is CART connected to Rotary International? And we have a solid connection. We've always been solidly connected because we're a project of the Rotary Clubs of North America. But now I think we're even more solidly connected to them as the founding member of this Rotary Action Group.
What do resource partners do?
Their expertise. So the resource partners have their own expertise, and I'll use Alzheimer's Association as my primary one. They are excellent at providing information on caregiving, immediate for support for people who are just trying to come into this program and understanding. So our resource partners are our resource organizations. We don't raise money for them, and they don't raise money for us, but we promote each other's activities, and that we support each other. We get a question, I can send it to Alzheimer's Association, I can send it to the Cure Alzheimer's Fund, I can send it to REPOD, and we can connect any Rotarian anywhere in the world. They're also there to help us. If somebody wants to do an international grant, we can find out what that grant's going to be focused on, caregiving or research or whatever. And we know these grants are problematic in that they have to be sustainable. Research by its nature is not sustainable. You get to a certain point and you're done. And so we have to find unique ways to be able to do this international grant through Rotary International. It's been done, but we have to be we have to thread the needle very well.
Bill, I wanted to ask you, the Cure Alzheimer's, excuse me, the Cure, they're USA only, right? I think all the things I saw about them.
They are not. They are not restricted to USA only, as CART has restricted itself. That's the only restriction is for us, is that we've placed it on ourselves. We think it's easier to communicate and be able to control things better if we restrict just to the 50 United States. Cure Alzheimer's Fund has reached across the ocean and have done some work with some European organizations and have funded them as well, Norm. So great question.
So thank you for that, Bill Shillito. That was excellent. I think it's really informative. And I think that Luther made a great suggestion that if you are already doing programs in your district and they've heard from you and they would like to know a little bit more, this might be a great program. And I'm sure that Bill Shillito would love to help you with that and be a part of a program for you and share his knowledge, because he is our resident expert on that. Our future meetings, we've already got speakers lined up. Appreciate Bill Shillito tonight. Next month is going to be past District Governor Carol Burdett from Anderson, South Carolina. And she was quite the cheerleader for her district both times that she was district governor. And she had some amazing little extras that she did in her district, and we're going to allow her to tell us those stories next month. And she's going to talk about the importance of working closely with your DG line and having those challenges. And I don't mean challenges like problems. I mean issuing challenges so that you can have a little competition. So we're excited to have her next month as well. I'm going to ask Rod to give you just a very quick update because some of you have asked questions about Charity Navigator, and then we'll come back and talk about our breakout rooms.
Charity Navigator came to us last year and they felt like we needed 3 new procedures. We weren't sure we really did, but we thought we'd comply. So we've written those 3 procedures last year. We submitted to them to Charity Navigator in 2021. We've also in 2022 submitted to them our tax return. And we made sure the tax return had all the correct boxes checked. So they have both all the procedures, they have the tax return, and we are waiting on them to review those things. We have no idea what their timetable is, but whenever we contact them, we are told that it's in review, and so we're waiting on them and sitting on our hands and waiting for their decision. That's the sum total of what we know about Charity Navigator at this point. So if someone asks you about it, just tell them we're waiting, and we really are waiting, and we hope to get an answer sooner rather than later.
So before we go into the breakout sessions, I want to take a moment to introduce Ervin Signs to you guys, because many of you have not had a chance to even see his face yet, much less meet him. He is in his car between meetings, but he is our new Vice President of Public Image. And I wanted him to just speak to you for just a moment, because we do have an extra 2 to 3 minutes here that Ervin can tell you kind of what he's been working on and what is going to be coming in the future. And then he is going to host a breakout session for you guys as well.
Thanks, Tiffany. Hello, everybody. Hope everybody can hear me. I am in my car. It's been a crazy start of the Rotary year for everybody. But for cart wise, I'm working on some different things. The PowerPoint I got out to you guys, I know some of you have emailed me about getting them personalized. I haven't forgot about you, but it's just been absolutely insane right now. So I'm going to try to get those out to you here soon. I'm also trying to finish up the 2022 glance, so we can get that out to everybody so we can see what all we did in 2022. And just working on a couple different other projects. I don't even remember them all, but we're working on them. I'm excited to be part of the CART. I know we're working on, I don't know if you talked about the pins or not, but trying to figure out a solution for those. So yeah, just a bunch of different things, but excited to be here.
Thank you, Ervin.